Hi, I'm Melissa Guay. I am the Connections Director at Pine Knolls Alliance Church in South Glens Falls. Pine Knolls Alliance Church is located in South Glens Falls. We are a regional church, so we have membership anywhere from, I think the furthest north is like Bolton Landing. Some people come from Vermont. We have folks all the way from Schenectady and Albany, so we are a regional church, which is really unique for our area. And our mission statement is that we exist to experience and share the hope and healing of Jesus. We've had the opportunity here at Pine Knolls really to do a lot of good in our community, specifically partnering with local schools and local organizations. One of our favorite things that we do every year, one of my favorite things that we do is our big outreach day, where instead of meeting here on a Sunday, we go into the community. Last year, we sent over 400 volunteers into the community to help anywhere from landscaping at local schools to doing a lot of remediation and things at East Field to Sandbar Beach and everywhere in between. And that's just a really cool thing to be a part of. In terms of church family life here, we've had the opportunity to come alongside innumerable people, honestly, that to just better improve their spiritual walk, to better improve their sense of community and belonging, and really to welcome them with the heart and invitation that only Jesus Christ provides. So one thing I wish people knew about us is that it's okay to come here and not have your mind made up. So many people think that you need to have everything decided and then you would step in, but we are designed that you can come and just try and figure out what it is that you think about God. Walking in these doors doesn't mean you agree with everything that we agree with or stand for, but it's a great place where you will be welcome to ask questions and figure things out for yourself. Our hope is that we would help you ask good questions as you're looking at spiritual health, really. But so many people believe that those things need to be in place prior. This is a place to come and see what you think, not have everything figured out before you get here. So some surprising facts. I don't know if they're surprising, but I'm a big fan of fun facts. I love adventure. I once belly flopped off a cliff in order to impress my boyfriend, who then turned out to be my husband. So down the road. So there's that one. Let's see. I have 4 kids. I love tacos. I once owned a goat in college and had to return it 2 weeks later because you shouldn't have a goat in your dorm room. So I like spontaneous things a lot. And sometimes it gets me in trouble a little bit. What gets me excited and motivated for my day is twofold, really. I love that my job is multifaceted, so there's no such thing as a typical week for me. I love that a huge part of my job is helping people find community and belonging. I'm somebody who went through a season of just deep loneliness, and only God could orchestrate that. Down the road, it would be my job to help people alleviate those things. Belonging in community is actually an essential need of humankind. Like just the same as we need shelter and food and water, we need community and belonging. So my role as Connections Director is I get to help people find that, which has been just a gift. And really what gets me excited is when life change happens, and getting to play a small part in that, whatever that looks like, is extremely rewarding. I think the thing I love most about what I do is we get to treat people as whole people. You know, our society, and rightly so, is very much interested in physical health and mental health, and those are great things, but I do believe the third leg to the stool is spiritual health. And often that's the one that gets forgotten or left off. So what I love about what I do is we get to come to a person and help them evaluate all of those things holistically. And I do believe that spiritual part is the most important part about who we are, that we are actually more than the sum of our parts, and that God created us in love and for a purpose. And I love that I get to direct people closer to that. I love that I get to meet people just in honesty and vulnerability. You definitely are able to come exactly as you are. And that was my story here. I started attending Pine Knolls 20 years ago with a lot of questions and a lot of fears and a lot of worries, and was able to, over time, make relationships and connections that was able to steer me and my family and my marriage just into stronger directions. And to be able to do that for other people it's wild. It's wild. It's my job, honestly. It's a blessing. So I came to work at Pine Knolls, I think because they felt bad for me because I volunteered for everything. But I've been attending here for 20 years. I have volunteered everywhere from worship team to kids ministry to welcome team to anything in between. I'm pretty sure I was weeding the gardens for a season there as well, because this place was it was my safe place. It's where I found belonging and community. And so I was encouraged to apply for a position that was open here as the Connections Director. Did not actually see it as a fit at all at first. And then the more I started to look at the role, the more that it seemed it would be a place that I could impact for good. And it's been a gift ever since. I think one of the things I'm excited about that we've achieved is that our small groups program is growing by leaps and bounds, which is where people take what they learn on a Sunday morning and they meet in various locations around the community, in homes and some here. And we have 350 people right now plugged into our small groups ministry, which has really grown from, I think it was about 170 when I was first kind of inherited that ministry. So, which means that weekly there are 350 people in the community that are meeting, talking about the things on Sunday, growing with one another. And that's been a really big initiative that I've had the privilege to oversee, specifically within that, creating groups where whole families can go. So kids can come with them. So needing childcare is no longer a barrier to that. That's one of the most exciting things. But I think what I really value the most is honestly the stories of individual personal change. I mean, big numbers are great, but when you see the life of a person changed for good and you've had the opportunity to play a role in that, it's been incredible. There's this one family who came in. Actually, the woman told me this past Sunday, it was actually a year since they had first came in, and they were in a tough spot emotionally and relationally and walking through past hurts. And she and her husband and her 3 young adult children folded into life here at Pine Knolls. I had the opportunity to meet with them numerous times, still meet with the 2 young daughters once a week at this point. And where they are when we first met them to where they are now, it's night and day. Where there was sadness, there is joy. Where there was loneliness and fear, there is encouragement and purpose. And to play a part in that is wild. And obviously the biggest change in between those 2 things was they came into relationship with Jesus Christ and then folded into community here. So those stories, that specific story, is presently the thing I'm most proud of having participated in. What do ninjas wear on their feet? Sneakers. It's my favorite joke. I think a scripture that I lean on pretty regularly is the idea that God will finish what he begins. And so he who started a good work in you will see it to completion. And that gives me great perspective in my own personal life as I consider the things that God is working on me still in, which he's working on all of us. None of us have arrived yet. But it also gives me great assurance and encouragement and compassion for those that I get to meet with and talk to as well, that God is working. And I think another quote would actually be from my dear friend Corey, who was giving a sermon, and she said, "Sometimes we forget that answered prayers are processes instead of light switch moments." And so the prayer that you are praying to have answered could be in process of being answered. And that has also just been something that has been whispered to my heart time and again as I've navigated challenging things even in my own life. I think the best piece of advice that I have been given is give yourself the same grace you give other people. So I know many of us can hold ourselves to higher standards and then meet other people with kindness and grace and just beat ourselves up behind the scenes. And so realizing that we need to love ourselves means that we extend the same grace to ourselves that we do to others that we care for.